guy must have bought it, because when we got to the nearest station, he blew right past it. I started to panic a bit. I thought about confronting him, but I knew he was too big to fight. Luckily, we were coming up on a rest stop about a half a mile away. I opened my eyes and told him I had to pee. He said that he'd stop at the next place, so I crossed my legs, winced, and told him it was too late. He'd have to pull over or I'd make a mess of his car. The man frowned and sighed, but he gave in and pulled over. The second we came to a stop, I sprinted out of the car and into the woods off the side of the road. He shouted after me, but I couldn't hear him. The bushes were scratching at my legs, but I didn't stop running. The rest stop was close enough that I could see the lights. My phone had died by that point. I wiped away the tears and gasped for breath as I made it to the rest stop parking lot. The lot was completely empty, other than one nice sedan. There was light coming from inside the sedan. I figured it was a phone, so I ran and banged on the window. The guy from earlier was nowhere to be seen. I think he gave up once it got too risky for him. The phone light shut off, and the person inside rolled down the window. It was another man, but he was a lot cleaner than the last guy. When he saw the state I was in, he got out of the car and asked what was wrong. I stumbled over my words, trying to tell him about what happened, and asked him if I could use his phone to call for help. He told me I could, and that he'd get some water and a blanket from the back of the car so I could calm down. While I stood against the door and shivered, he stepped out of sight and opened the trunk. While waiting, I glanced into his car. There were a pair of binoculars on the passenger seat. I turned to where the man had disappeared and found him pulling rope out of the trunk. I stumbled into the side mirror, and he realized I'd seen him. Even though I was exhausted, I managed to use the last of my energy to sprint to the rest stop. His footsteps trailed behind until I caught the eye of the woman at the desk. The guy chased me, ran back to his car, and drove off while I watched him from inside the lobby. The woman at the lobby stayed with me while I tried to pull it together. After everything that night, I could barely even trust her. The lady gave me a free room for the night. I managed to get in touch with my friend, and she came to pick me up the next day. When we got my car towed, it turned out my fuel lines had been cut. I guess the guy who followed me from the gas station had the whole thing planned. The fact that I ran into a second psycho must have just been insanely bad luck.